Hey, good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Rassi. Zero is up. Good morning, Joe. Good to see you. Susan joins us. Sheila and Chris. So glad to see each and one of you. We've got a lot to cover today as we'll be embarking on the morning show at 7 o'clock. Julia will be flying in. We've got her for 1 week anyway. That's on the way. Greg will be here as well. Fun Friday comes your way at 8 o'clock this morning. We've had a lot of incidents happen in the early morning hours. The Meridian Fire Department just left a fire just off of B Street down in Tuxedo. A home was burned. We'll tell you about that beginning at 7. A major wreck this morning happened in front of Walmart on Highway 19. One transported to the hospital. We got details on that coming up at 7 also. We're going to go over a lot of things that's going on locally. Look at your forecast as your day gets underway, and there is rain in your future. Be ready for that by afternoon. We'll tell you all about that on the way as well. Let's go to Collinsville now. Let's get a smile for the day and get a good word from the man up above.
In our world of easy travel and modern conveniences, we often don't relate well to what hospitality used to be. I remember an Andy Griffith episode where a businessman came through town on a Sunday and his car broke down. Well, Wally, the town mechanic, didn't work on Sundays, and the man became very impatient about the fact that he couldn't get his car fixed. Andy invited the man into his home where he could relax and wait until his car could be fixed the next day. Well, Gomer and his cousin Goober ended up fixing the man's car, and he wanted to hurry on his way. But Andy, Aunt Bee, and Opie ended up convincing the man to spend the night in their home instead of hurrying on his way to do his business appointment. Well, Opie was excited because he was going to get to sleep on the ironing board. Well, in the first century, it was proper for people to welcome travelers into their homes to eat and lodge for a time. It was considered to be good hospitality. There would be limited options for food and lodging, and many people simply would not have had the money for that kind of thing. It would be expected for you to take someone into your home and help them out. In 2 John 10 through 13, the apostle continued to address the issue of being aware of false teachers and their possible influence on believers. He says in 2 John 10 and 11, if anyone comes to you and does not bring this teaching, do not take him into your house or welcome him. Anyone who welcomes him shares in his wicked work. This was serious business. John said that the believers should even deny the hospitality that was expected if they knew that those coming to their towns did not teach the truth about Christ. This should teach us to be on our guard when it comes to false teaching of our day. Standing for the truth should take precedence, even if it means turning away people who mean to do us spiritual harm. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Hope you enjoyed that this morning. Brother Paul. 74 right now, and you should really enjoy that because that'll probably be the last time you see that temperature today. We'll head for a high of about 94, heat index of 105. Now, that is better than it was yesterday, isn't it? Still hot, and we have an 80% chance of showers. We're expecting to roll in sometime after 3 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock. We should start seeing showers, is what it looks like at this point. We'll keep you up to date on the weather. Should it turn rough, we'll be here to walk you through that. Now, one thing's for sure, and it generally, not always, happens as you get older to where medications become a part of your life. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some folks in their 30s that come across things that they have to start taking medication, but by far, it's mostly as you get older you start having to use these. President Donald J. Trump has gotten with 16, I believe it's 17 manufacturers of drugs and told them they have 60 days to lower their prices. Now, to a young person, that may not sound like, oh, that's no big deal, but the older you get and when you get up on a fixed income, it is everything. They go up on your medications, and you've got to decide whether you're going to live or have groceries or run the air conditioner. We do hope this works out, and they will do what Trump asked them. Our drug prices are out of this world. There's people getting filthy rich over it, and you know that as well as I do, where many of you have been on cruises, and the same medication that you buy here and pay 3 times more for it. Don't have the answers, just the facts on that. They have announced how Hulk Hogan passed away. Oh, you know the wrestler. You saw him even on the A-Team. He was on a big deal if you ever made it to the Love Boat. And, yep, he got to make a cameo on there. He died of a heart attack. Hulk Hogan, one of the best there was when it came to wrestling. Former President Biden had a speech last night. I don't know if many of you saw that. It was on. I glanced across it online and watched a few moments of it. He claimed that Donald Trump was working to erase everything that his administration had done. It's the most truthful thing I think I've heard Biden say the entire time. Yes, they are. And hopefully they will succeed in fixing the issues that we've got from that administration. Kamala, any fans out there? Well, hang on, you're going to be able to get a new book. She's writing one on her memoirs about her presidential campaign. We'll go on to the next story. The Daily Beast, are you familiar with that? It's a news outlet. They're having to retract a story this morning. A lot of times people will write things for reactions, but they get called out on it from time to time when they truly just blatantly didn't tell the truth. They tried to write a story, or they did write a story, saying that Epstein played a hand in introducing Donald Trump to his wife. They've had to retract the entire story. It was false. It's wrong to do things like that. I mentioned yesterday morning Canada was going to try to wear some big boy breeches, or what's the old saying? Some big girl panties. We've all heard that saying in our life somewhere, to where they were getting ready to recognize Palestine as a state. Trump has spoken. His tweet of the day says, "Wow, Canada just announced they are backing statehood for Palestine. This will make it very hard for us to make a trade deal with them. Oh, Canada." Basically, what Don is saying is, if you do that, there is no trade deal and your economy will hurt. We wait to see how Canada answers that. This is Ricky Van Shelton. Anybody remember him? He was a country artist. It was a song called that he had many moons ago, called Moons Ago. Golly, it doesn't seem it. Crime of Passion. Anybody remember that? Well, I guess it kind of played out that way in this news story that we've got. Tallahassee, Florida. Guy was in love with his wife, went fishing with his best friend. Only one came home. We want to guess who it was? 17 years ago, his best friend took him to the swamp. They went fishing, threw him out of the boat. It didn't go quite as well as he planned. He ended up shooting and killing him after he'd just sold his wife a insurance policy. He got in more trouble here recently, and a way to get out of that, he cut a deal. He turned in his wife that he was now divorcing, that she no longer wanted him, and cut a deal and turned her in for her role in murdering her husband. Where are you going to get with somewhere like that? It doesn't pay off in the end. And, well, it destroyed all there, didn't it? Young man lost his life to his best friend over a woman. Y'all watch that. It causes more wars and more fights than anything I've seen. Are you looking for a $50,000 sign-in bonus? ICE wants you. They're ramping this up. They're doing all types of things. Maximum $50,000 signing bonus. That will get the attention to some folks there that are looking for a little pay hike. They said they got all types of great incentives. If you're in law enforcement, it might be something that you want to do there. Florida has broken its record execution record with the 9th death sentenced to be carried out this year. Florida stepping up to the plate and taking care of business. Do y'all remember, I believe this was week and a half ago, somewhere along in there, New Orleans, Louisiana, to where they mistakenly let a guy out of prison. And the person said, well, he had the same last name. Well, you see, that really doesn't work. You verify, and then you double check, and then about the 8th person down the row there double checks to make sure everybody behind him done their job right. They've already fired 2 deputies that worked at the prison for not doing their job, and, well, they're rewriting the entire policy of how that works. It's pretty simple. Read the file. I'll just keep that to myself. Do you want to go down in history? I saw the headline late last night, and I thought, boy, they're going to really rip Trump over this one. They'll say that he's running up the debt, and he just can't help it. Then I read deeper into what the White House said. No, Trump's paying for it. They're adding on to the White House. No, I'm serious. They're going to be adding a new ballroom and a new Lincoln bathroom. Every time they go to host an event at the White House, they just don't have enough room, and they're going to build this humongous dining room. It's going to hold a lot of people there. $200 million is what it's going to cost. And as we all know, if you remember, when Trump takes over a project to build it, this will be long built before he exits the White House. This won't be drawn out. It'll be built in a very, very short time. Remember the ice skating rink they just couldn't seem to build in New York? He done it in like 7 months. It can be done, and it's of no cost to the taxpayer. He's throwing in some money. Some donors are throwing in some money, and it'll be added onto the White House. And I'm sure that will forevermore hold like the Trump room, or I got a feeling he's going to name it after himself. Things are even looking better. Apple showing some growth. Also, Amazon, their earnings are up. We're starting to see some comeback here in America. We do finally get some answers. Do you remember that one? What was it, 260-something souls lost their life at that airport with the Black Hawk? They crashed. After investigation, they have come back and said the air traffic controller should have warned the plane of the Army helicopter in its path, and it did not. That's sad. We hate that. So many souls, so many lives, and children, and mama and daddies. Here's something that is coming, and let me call it by the right name before I get into this. I found it very interesting. This is going to be going around Nash Vegas as they'll get ready to do this. It's going to be called the Nashville Loop. I lost my place of where it was. Elon Musk company is going to be hired to, it's called the Music City Loop. I found it, the exact way that it's written here. They're going to build this underground, and the project is going to have it to where it's a platform from the airport back and forth to where it'll cut back on traffic there. Pretty big deal there. It will go from the downtown convention center to the Nashville International Airport with a transit time of approximately 8 minutes. Something maybe that California trying to do. They're going to hire Elon and his people to do this. They say it's going to cost $0 to the taxpayers. It's going to be privately funded. Whoa. Kind of hard to yell at somebody wasting your tax dollars when it doesn't cost you anything, isn't it? That one is good. I didn't see that coming earlier about it not costing the taxpayers anything. Nashville is growing. In one sense, I really like the thought of this. In another sense, I can see some politicians jumping on this and abusing it. Natural disasters. It's being introduced by 2 Democrats, one from Colorado, one from California. I think back, this even happened in Tennessee. I remember when the wildfires broke out and destroyed all of those homes of everybody that lost everything near Dollywood. Y'all remember that? Dolly jumped in, gave some money. They're trying to put together a program that would give you relief for 6 months on your mortgage, to where it would take a pause and you wouldn't be penalized if you lost your home to a natural disaster till you could get back on your feet. Again, I think it's a great idea. I just don't want it abused. And what I mean by that is for somebody to claim something that's a natural disaster that it's not, in order to benefit someone. If it's truly a situation to where someone lost their home to what do they call that when you have an act of God?
Yeah.
I do agree with that. That would be good there. We got somebody trying to backtrack, and I'm going to try to pronounce his name, and y'all know that I can't. It's that guy running for mayor in New York, Mamadayan. Yeah, I can't say it. He's trying to backtrack on what he said about the Second Amendment there. Jesse Waters is calling him out. This is this really happens in the bigger city. Not to say that it couldn't happen here, but it was caught on dash cam in New York. Two Brooklyn guys driving, and this is why you should have you a dash cam. Oh, there's many purposes for a dash cam, but this guy's going down the road and a car whips out in front of him, starts slowing down, and he slows down to where he won't bump them. Well, they didn't like that, so they slammed it in reverse and hit him so that they could claim an insurance faults, hurt my back. He's busted them. Hopefully they're headed off to jail by now. The whole thing was caught there on video. I remember as a kid, this is coming back here, presidential fitness test to return to schools. Checking out kids, making sure that they're okay and healthy. Sean Puff Daddy Combs. His attorney is asking for acquittal or a new trial. There's enough baby oil involved in this to... We'll see what happens. They've been asking Trump to pardon him. I don't think that will happen, but you never know. The officer that was killed in Manhattan received his honor at his funeral. He has been laid to rest. We salute you. What else do we have this morning that is happening around? Justin Timberlake, and I assume this is from a tick, he's got Lyme disease. They're everywhere. Y'all be careful if you go out and walking amongst the tulips. They'll get on you. Have someone check you there. Oh, somebody wrote a song about that too, didn't they? I like to check you for ticks. Be careful. Might find something you don't want. Nearly 200,000 kids' play kitchens are being recalled after a toddler lost his life due to the play kitchen. Awful, awful, awful. What else do we have this morning here? This guy had the same job as Odie does. He was the head of the emergency management out in Texas. Y'all remember Kerr, Texas? Where so many lives were lost at that camp, those kids? I think I'd have just kept this to myself. He said, well, I was asleep during that. He didn't respond. He didn't get up. He slept through the entire thing. Know your weather. Know your job, most of all. He did not. What will become of that, I don't know, but he has spoken, and that's what he had to say about that. Here's something pretty neat. Sometimes people are separated at birth. They're given up for whatever reason it was. Sometimes it's for financial reasons that parents cannot take care of a child. This was a case where I read to where a mother lost her life and the father had 3 children, and there was no way that he could care for them and work. And he ended up giving his children up for adoption. Some 80 years later, 2 brothers and sisters found each other. Well, that's a miracle, isn't it? The other one had passed away, but 2 of them were reunited. Neat story there. Do you remember Maine? We talked about them yesterday. The police department that hired the illegal alien.
Yeah.
They're trying to blame DHS and say, well, they cleared him. Hubba, hubba, hubba. Hey, here's something here. A new record has been set. I don't know who tracked it or who can prove this, but apparently it's true. Lightning. A lightning bolt stretched 515 miles across 3 states. 3 states. Couldn't get that out, could I? Who's been keeping up with this record-breaking stuff all these years? But that's big. The guy that killed the 2 parents that were with their children in Arkansas. Y'all have seen this. He's appearing in court. He's been charged. The husband, I think, was 41. She was 43. And he took their life in front of their children. He's appeared in court. Let's see what happens. Elon is not mad at the entire Republican Party. He just gave some money to a super PAC, millions of dollars for midterm elections. So he's working out his frustrations there he might or might not have had with Donald J. We'll be right back to check your forecast next. Y'all stay with us.
Hi, this is Nick at Doc's Toyota, and we are excited to put you in a new Toyota today. We have no dealer markup, no hidden fees, no hassle, and our inventory is always priced to move. Our top-notch sales department and first-class service after the sale guarantees you a fast and comfortable buying experience like you've never had. So come see why month after month, more and more customers have chose to buy from Doc's Toyota. So come see us here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia, at docstoyota.com or on Facebook, and remember, there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
For over 40 years, you've been able to count on Watt Equipment in DeKalb, Mississippi. They've got your Massey Ferguson's brand new 23 up to 135 horse cab and air tractors. They've got all your hay equipment needs, all your bush hogs. If your tractor needs it, they got it. Also remember, they service all makes and models, whether it's green, orange, blue, red, or yellow. They can get your parts in, they can do your service on your equipment. Don't forget Watt Equipment, DeKalb, Mississippi.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
As we go back for our record highs and record lows, y'all remember 1990? That was 26 years ago. Boy, we're getting old, y'all. 102 is the record set today, back in 1936. Record low of 62. Now, again, today we're going to get to 94 with a heat index of 105. As we look at our outlook for today, it will be somewhere between 94 and 95. This was the latest that they sent us from Jackson there. They put it at 95. Philadelphia should see 94. Even Columbus at a nice, cool 93 as we go across that Bama state line. And it will vary somewhere between 93 to 94 all the way up to Birmingham. Out to our east there at War Eagle, Auburn should see 92. Not bad at all, is that? As we come across, this is what our heat stress looks for today. It could go up to about 105 is what we're looking at there. Level 1, we're in a level 2 here in the Meridian, 110. We'll watch this in Greenville, but it's going to be hot. We are for sure at 105 for today, without a doubt, and it could go higher. Most likely, you'll see this late in the afternoon, that heat bumped up. Here's what we're showing on this, and again, it's a heat wave approaching us, coming out of California, making its way toward Texas, which will make its way here. More of the same. Hot weather.
It's going to get hotter?
Yes, it's going to get hotter. Greg is in astonishment over there. Hey, where's your TV wife? I hadn't seen her show up yet.
Well,
Man, that girl's slow.
I'm telling you. and undependable.
She is very undependable. We'll have to have a long talk with her. As we see our 7-day forecast, this is bumped up since we've done this early this morning to an 80% chance. It jumped up another 10% there. High of 94, 72 for our low, 60% for tomorrow and Sunday, and it still lingers around on Monday back to work, decreasing to a 50% chance finally on Tuesday and down to a 20% chance there by next Thursday. But the point is, there's rain every day in the forecast.
It could be bad storms.
It could be.
Anytime you get up 105 heat index and then it's not going to be just a pleasant shower.
Y'all be ready for this. As we go another week into this, look at this. We'll see mid-90s there. But the rain chances drop to about 20% each day up until about the 15th of the month. So rain, slight chances where it could just kind of happen. As we look at our fishing forecast, as we go out to Clarkdale Superette, they're all ready for you with worms and a whole lot more. The weather's going to be calm with a southwest wind around 5 miles an hour this afternoon. Perfect time to fish is going to be right at 6 p.m. today through about 8 p.m. So that'll put it from late in the evening until dark 30. Another time this afternoon, it'll be kind of good there, mild, from 1 to 2 o'clock after lunch. Sunrise happened at 6:09 this morning, and sunset will make it to 7:52. There you go. Here's what we got when it comes to the tropics. The Gulf of America, all clear. Absolutely nothing happening there. We can't complain, can we? Yeah. That's a look at our forecast. And again, we're starting out at 74. Get ready. We're going to go over all what's happened over the last few days. Good morning, Miss Wilda. Good to see you there. Steve is there. Pam is up joining us. The gang is getting together if we can get that broom in here. We'll see what happens. It's all coming up at the top of the hour. Won't you join us? Fun Friday. We'll see you in just a moment at the Scotty Ray Report.